How do you like to finish the college basketball season paying under $30 per week? Between now and Selection Sunday on March 12th, there are still tons of regular season college basketball action to go. Plus, all of the conference tournaments and Wager Talk and Sports Memo are announcing their March Madness Bonanza special that will include the rest of the college basketball regular season, conference tournaments, NCAA tournament through the national championship, and any plays released in the NIT or CBI tournaments. That's right, from Monday, February 27th through Monday, April 3rd, there are 5 full weeks of hoops action, which breaks down to under $30 per week. Sign up for this promotion now on your favorite handicapper's homepage and get the rest of the college basketball season through the national championship in Houston on Monday, April 3rd, plus all non-March Madness tourneys, including the NIT and CBI, all for only $149. That's under $5 a day for one of the best betting experiences in sports. Some call March Madness the most exciting time in sports betting, so act fast as the March Madness Bonanza special is only available for a limited time. Grab your favorite college basketball handicapper, or perhaps add 2 or 3 college hoops experts to make this March Madness not only exciting, but also profitable. No coupon is needed, just head to the homepage of the handicapper of choice and lock the $149 price in now. As the earlier you sign up, the more days you receive.
Welcome to the NBA Triple Double Show, powered by SportsMemo. I am your host, Ronald Cabang, also known as UCapper on SportsMemo.com and at UCapper Sports on Twitter. I'll be joined by Moneyline Matt today to break down 3 games from today's big slate. But before we get into those games, I do want to talk about some of the promos we got going on over at SportsMemo.com. First one up is the Hoop 7 package. Hoop 7 promo code, 7-day NBA pass for just $39, valid for anyone that's been on the panel this week. That's myself, Moneyline Matt, and Jeff Michaels. The deal is valid through Sunday at midnight, so make sure you hop on that before it is too late. Again, the promo code is Hoop7, a 7-day NBA pass for just $39. That's valid for myself, Moneyline Matt, and Jeff Michaels. One more thing, too. One big promo that we got going on over at SportsMemo.com. March Madness Bonanza Special, $149 for the remainder of college basketball season. That includes the national championship, conference playoffs, and all that stuff. We got a lot of college basketball left, guys, and $149 for the remainder of the season. For that, no promo code needed. Just head over to your favorite college basketball capper, and they have that available on their page. Once again, these amazing deals over at SportsMemo.com. Make sure you check out the site on a daily basis to see what we got going on that page. Utilize the free odds live pages. Plenty of cappers provide free picks and analysis on a daily basis as well. And not only just NBA, but all these other sports, soccer, hockey, all that stuff is there over at sportsmemo.com. Also, before you head over there, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button before you go. It does only take a couple clicks, and it helps us grow our show tremendously. With that said, let's get Matt up here with me. Matt, we always like to start the show transparent here. I'm having a down week. I had a good run, now having a down week. So hopefully we get this weekend off right here with a good winning week. But I know you've been pretty hot, Matt. How's everything going with you?
Yeah, good. The NBA has been pretty solid this week. You know, I'm on a 5-day positive streak. So all 5 days this week, I have been up in units. Yesterday, I am coming off a 2-in-1 day as well. I had Kyrie Irving over 24.5 points. The man went off last night. And then we also had the Dallas Mavericks. I thought the Dallas Mavericks were in a great spot. Desperately needed that win against a tough 76ers team. And man, Luka went off, Kyrie went off, fun game to watch. And, you know, I just felt like the 76ers had some tired legs at the end there. And looking to just keep this rolling. You know, we have another great slate this Friday, UFC tomorrow. You know,
I love it.
Both the UFC. So just, hey, John Bones Jones is back against Gane. Let's get it going, baby.
Yeah, yesterday, man, I had so my best bet hit. It was the Spurs game under. That one went well. The one that lost was the Raptors. That was my smaller bet, but I had 2 props. I had Westbrook over assists. That one, he had 6 assists at halftime, and he didn't get an assist the remainder of the game. I had over 6.5. And then Kawhi, he had 2 3-pointers by halftime, and I needed 2.5. So two things there was basically the blowout in the fourth quarter. The Ty Lue shut them down early. So that's why they didn't get an opportunity to finish off the game there. But hopefully we get back on track today and on this weekend. Like you said, I'm really excited for the UFC this weekend. Just an amazing card there. But this is an NBA show, and we got to get into it here. The first game up is the Jazz and the Thunder. Jazz coming off of that outright loss to the Spurs. This is the first of a 6-game road trip as well. These two teams play each other again on Sunday. The Thunder were looking like a playoff team for a bit, which is crazy. But now they've lost 5 straight games here. This is the 4th game of a 6-game homestand for them. So they've been sitting pretty at home. On an injury perspective, Clarkson and Sexton are both out. They shut down Oklahoma City. OKC shut down Kenrich Williams for the season. SGA is out. Poku is out. So some offense missing there. Matchup-wise, the Jazz have won. They did win the first matchup this season, 120-119. That game did go into overtime. The Jazz were only a 1.5-point favorite, so they won the game, but missed a cover. They failed to go over the 240 total, even though they went into OT. Matt, what are you looking at in this game here? I think we're looking at 2 different teams from the first matchup, and just from the beginning of the season in general, like they're both looking total opposites. Like they were looking like Utah started off really hot, and now look at them now. So what are your thoughts on this game here, Matt?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm really glad we're covering this game today because it's probably my favorite game on the slate. And this is a spot where the Oklahoma City Thunder are facing off against the Utah Jazz. The Oklahoma City Thunder are at home in this spot. And this is a Thunder team who has now lost 5 straight games, with the last 3 games being at home. This is a Thunder team who is still in playoff positioning. So this is a must-win spot for them. The Jazz are still fighting as well. But furthermore, this is going to be a spot where, once again, the Jazz are without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and at this point in time, I think they're somewhat used to being without Shai. I know he's a huge absence, but they've had a lot of guys stepping up. You know, I know they've lost 5 games in a row, but all 5 of those games have been within 10 points. So they're still competing out there. And now they're facing a Jazz team who's going to be without Jordan Clarkson. They're going to be without Colin Sexton, their 2 primary ball handlers. And that means Chris Dunn is going to get the majority of the usage, the point guard positioning, stuff along those lines. And although I do like Chris Dunn, I think he has been somewhat slept on throughout his career. He's a solid defender. He's someone who can control the basketball. The thing that they're going to be missing the most with Chris Dunn is the scoring aspect of Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton. I think this is going to be a huge hole in the Jazz offense tonight because they're going to rely primarily on Lauri Markkanen. And although I think Lauri Markkanen is fully capable of carrying the load, I believe he had 40-plus points in their last outing against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it does make sense because they have Jalen Williams at the center position. They have Jalen Williams at the power forward position. And then from there, they're going with like Lou Dort. They're going with Josh Giddey. Guys like that. So they're not a very tall lineup. So again, Lauri Markkanen does have a chance to go out and have a very good game here. I think his points plus rebounds is a very viable option. But for me, I'm going with the Oklahoma City Thunder here. I think they're going to go out and win this game at home against the Utah Jazz. This is a Thunder team who is 17-15 at home on the season, with 3 of those losses coming at home recently in this 5-game losing stretch. So before that, they were actually one of the better teams throughout the NBA at home. Only once this season has this Thunder team lost 5 games in a row, and they rebounded to beat the Memphis Grizzlies on top of that. As for the Jazz, this is a team who is not good on the road either. They're 11-19 on the road. These 2 teams met earlier in the season in a game where the Jazz won at home 120-119 in a totally different makeup. You know, this Thunder team had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and this Jazz team also had Jordan Clarkson. So for me, again, I go back to Chris Dunn and I go back to the scoring aspect of the Utah Jazz. I personally don't think they're going to have enough offense here to keep up with this Oklahoma City Thunder team. Yes, this Oklahoma City Thunder team has been skidding as of late, but I believe this team is more complete as a unit, have more scoring options from guys like Josh Giddey. You know, you have guys like Luke Dort who can come alive. You have Jalen Williams who can come alive. Their bench has been playing good basketball with Trey Mann and some of those guys. So for me, I really do like the look of the Oklahoma City Thunder here. And this is potentially going to be an official play for me over at SportsMemo as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting look because I mean, you mentioned SGA, right, and how the importance of him on this squad. I actually looked how the Thunder do without him, and it's actually not that bad. I mean, it's not like they're winning games, but they're not. They're also not getting blown out. There's been a what is it, 8 game sample size here, and they're averaging 119 per game, only allowing 118 per game. I mean, it looks like this might be an over type game. I know the market is pointing towards the under here, going from 234 to like 231, whatever it is now. I think a lot of it has to do with how the Jazz have been doing defensively. They've gone under in 5 straight games. They've surprisingly kept their opponents under their team total in 5 straight games as well. But like I said, surprisingly, the Thunder, it's not like they back down when they don't have SGA in the lineup. But there's a lot of competing trends here for me, and that's why I couldn't really get there with the side or the total. Like early on in the season, this was a great spot to back the Thunder as home dogs, but they've actually, I mean, the reason why I would stay off of the myself was staying off of the Thunder was because they've actually lost and failed to cover in 4 straight of those home dog situations. But like I said, if it was early on in the season, I'd be all over the Thunder in this spot here as home dogs. I do the other thing to mention as well. Looking at the last 5 games, the Jazz defensive rating is in the top 10, while the Thunder are in the bottom 10. But I can't in this situation here. The Jazz opened up as favorites on the road here, and this is something that I can't take either. Like I'm not gonna back the Jazz here on the road in their current situation. No Clarkson and things like that. So I don't know. There's too many conflicting sides and total trends and angles here, but I do have a nice look on a prop, which is actually going to be my best bet in that section later on. So we'll get into that one later. Let's move on to the next game here, the Grizzlies and the Nuggets. This one's an interesting 1-2 here in the Western Conference here. Grizzlies are on a 3-game winning streak. This is the second of a 4-game road trip for them. Nuggets, they're in good form as well, winning and covering in 6 of their last 7 games. This is the first of a 3-game homestand for them. They've been traveling a lot, actually. Even before the All-Star break, they haven't had multiple home games in a row since February 4th. From an injury perspective, Steven Adams is still out for the Grizzlies. On the Nuggets side, Najee is out. Michael Porter and Aaron Gordon are both likely to play. Conchar is a questionable marker right now. He's kind of been one of those guys on the bench that's actually been doing some work. He gets a lot of minutes, but he doesn't get a lot of recognition for what he does. So he's sort of important to that second unit there, especially with Bones no longer there. Matchup wise, they split the 2 matchups so far this season with the home teams winning and covering. Both games have gone under the total as well. But I think they went under because of some of the injury implications in both of those games. Bain and Murray missed the first one. Gordon and Steven Adams out for the most recent one, which the Grizzlies ended up winning at home. Matt, what are your thoughts on this game here? I think for the most part, Michael Porter and Aaron Gordon going to play. So this might be the first time, at least for the most part, the Nuggets have been at full strength versus this Grizzlies team. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think this is potentially the most exciting game on the slate. You know, the Memphis Grizzlies are traveling on the road to face off against the Denver Nuggets, arguably the best team throughout the NBA. And the Grizzlies are coming off a victory against the LA Lakers, like you said, winning 3 games in a row. And the Nuggets are coming off a win against the Houston Rockets. The Nuggets have both MPJ and Aaron Gordon questionable, and I do expect them to play in this matchup. I think Steven Adams being out for this Memphis Grizzlies team has been a huge hole in their defense, especially when playing someone like Nikola Jokic. I think we're definitely expecting another Nikola Jokic triple-double game here. I believe that's about minus 105, minus 110. And I know with taking a triple-double, when you're seeing a minus 105 line, a minus 110 line, it's a little scary. But this is still a very good spot for Nikola Jokic. He's definitely going to get the rebounds. He's going to get the points. And when you're matched up against someone like Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman, I think you're going to take advantage of those matchups and be able to get the assists on top of that. So for me, I really do like that look of Nikola Jokic here. Another play that I really do like is Jamal Murray. I think Jamal Murray goes out, has a very good game here. I think he is the one receiving a lot of the passes from Nikola Jokic in this spot. But as for the game, I actually do side with the Grizzlies plus 5.5 here. I think the Grizzlies are playing some of their best basketball right now. They went through a little skid. They're rebounding, and a lot of it is rebounding through Ja Morant. And I bring that up due to the fact that the Nuggets are actually one of the worst teams throughout the entire NBA when guarding the point guard position. The Denver Nuggets give up 26 points per game to the point guard position on 9.32 assists. And the 9.32 assists is actually third worst throughout the NBA. So for me, when I look at this, I actually like Ja Morant a lot to get going. You know, he's coming off that huge game against the Lakers. And now someone who I expect to get going is Desmond Bane. I think Desmond Bane is a great matchup going against the Nuggets here. I think Ja Morant is going to be one of the guys to facilitate, to get the defense to close in, and then you start spinning the basketball around. And when it ends up in a guy's hands like Desmond Bane, he's one of those guys he's very streaky. He hasn't gone off in a while. So, you know, when Desmond Bane has gone quiet for a couple games, the guy is just due. And I think this could be one of those spots. And then in addition to that, plus 5.5 is a good amount of points for a Memphis Grizzlies team who is one of the better defensive teams throughout basketball. They're one of the better offensive teams throughout basketball, especially when Ja Morant is balling. And this is a spot where we definitely expect Ja Morant to ball. I know the numbers definitely side with the Nuggets. The Nuggets are 21-10-1 against the spread at home this season, while the Grizzlies are 10-19-1 on the road. For me, this is just kind of one of those spots where I really do like the look of the Grizzlies here. I feel like the Nuggets could be getting a little fat and sassy, and I think the Grizzlies could come in and take advantage. Not only do I like the plus 5.5, but I wouldn't even be surprised if the Grizzlies found a way to win this one outright. I just think they're the hotter team right now, so that's where I'm going to go in this game.
Yeah, definitely the momentum is on the Grizzlies side here. I know, like I mentioned, the Nuggets are in good form as well, but it seems like the Grizzlies, they got that little run of losses, and they've been kind of putting things together on the defensive side of the ball without Adams. One thing that I did notice though is that even though they've been winning some of their more recent games, they still haven't been going over their team total. So it seems like they can win even though they're not putting up points. And that's always a good thing. If you're able to do that, that means you can rely on your defense and get that stuff done. But like I mentioned, Grizzlies have gone under their team total in 15 of their last 18 games. But like I said, their defense has been stepping up. Their opponents have gone under their team total in 8 of the last 9. If we look at the last 10 games in general, they're third in the league in defensive rating. They've also slowed down their pace a lot since after the loss, the little streak of losses, they figured out that they needed to slow it down a little bit and really control their possessions and become more efficient. The Grizzlies have been a strong under team without Adams, and that's kind of like the way that I was actually looking at it was towards the under, possibly a Grizzlies team total under, and kind of stay away from the side here just because I don't really know what type of offense we're going to get from this Grizzlies team. They could go off, but at the same time, they could still cover without not having to score points like they have been in the more recent games. So, like I said, 12-6 to the under without Adams. If you include the Grizzlies are in the road conference game, they're 4-0 to the under without him. On the Nuggets side, they're 7-3-1 to the under in revenge situations. They have been winning and covering in those games, but like I said, I want to focus in on this under here. And then their team total in 8 of those 11 games have gone under. Their opponents have gone under. So that's why I wanted to focus on that Grizzlies team total under there. Another thing to mention as well, this is like a really simple prop, and it might be an ugly one just because the number is really low, but I want to get your take on this one, Matt, because you're more of a prop guy than I am. Aaron Gordon over 2.5 assists. He's gone over this number in 9 straight games. The Grizzlies are the third best matchup for allowing assists to forwards. And in the last 10 games, Gordon is averaging 7.5 potential assists. So he's getting the opportunities there. And this number is really low. I would think that would be a great prop play, right?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you there, because if there's one thing with Aaron Gordon, there's a couple ways that I'm thinking about this. You know, Aaron Gordon is one of those guys who, when he gets a rebound, he immediately pushes it up court. He looks for that outlet. He looks for, he looks for that guy who's sitting at the 3-point line, things of that nature. And he is a pretty good facilitator. You know, he's pretty accurate with his passes and things like that. And then another thing that I'm looking at is Aaron Gordon being a swing man. You know, Nikola Jokic is very good in that back down offense. And when you're going against guys like Brandon Clark, when you're going against guys like Xavier Tillman and Jaren Jackson, whoever it may be, Nikola Jokic is going to have that size. He's going to have the weight advantage on top of that, the strength advantage, and have the ability to back these people down. when you have the ability to back these players down, what's going to happen? Doubles, traps, things of that nature. And then majority of the time, Aaron Gordon is hanging out at the three-point line or he's cutting to the basket, which in turn could mean a pass to Aaron Gordon. The defense closes out on him. And then one more swing pass to either Michael Porter Jr., Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Jamal Murray, all people who are very good from the three-point line, all players who are very capable of knocking down shots. So, yeah, 3 assists is a very low number on top of that. This is going to be a pace-up style of game, too. The Memphis Grizzlies are a very fast team. So, and, to your point earlier, without Steven Adams, they're not the same defensively. So I also believe that opens up more assist opportunities for Aaron Gordon. So I definitely think that's a good look tonight.
Love it. All right, let's get on to this last game here. Clippers and the Kings. Clippers have lost 4 straight, including the loss last night to the Warriors. That was like I said earlier, I had Westbrook and Kawhi on the props there. That was just a terrible effort in the second half yesterday. This is the second leg of back-to-back games, so I understand why they cut the starters short in that fourth quarter after getting down by like 20 points, but it still sucks. Second leg of back-to-back road games, like I said. They have the Grizzlies on deck on Sunday as well. Kings are on a 4-game winning streak, so they're on the opposite side here, and they have the rest advantage, not having played since their win over the Thunder on Tuesday. This is the first leg of back-to-back home games for them, and the first of a 4-game homestand following 3 straight road games. So the travel spot is kind of funky here, or the schedule spot here for them. They do have the Wolves on deck tomorrow. From an injury perspective, this is where it gets kind of funky for the Clippers because we don't really know what's going on with their lineup today. Kawhi, I know for sure, is confirmed out. Other than that, a lot of question marks. Marcus Morris questionable. Norman Powell, he just got injured yesterday. Zubac is questionable. I don't think he played. He didn't play yesterday. There was also some word of possible minute restrictions for the guys who end up playing, like PG and if Westbrook gets out there. But with this being the NBA, man, we can't really trust what's being said from the media a lot of the time. So we really got to wait until later on in the day to figure out what's going to go on with this Clippers lineup. On the King side, Holmes is questionable. Fox seems like he's trending towards playing today. I would assume that he plays in this, I would say, a key matchup here. From a matchup perspective, the Kings have covered all 3 matchups so far this season, winning the last 2 outright. They just had that crazy double OT game where they combined for like 301 points combined in double OT. That was a crazy game. Probably one of the best games to watch ever, just if you like offense. But everyone got tired of that game. This one is kind of crazy. It seems like they match up well, but now you don't have Kawhi, and Kawhi's been a big part of this run that the Clippers had before Westbrook joined the squad. And then when Westbrook joined, they go down 4 straight. What is the issue here? Is there's some chemistry stuff going on? What are your thoughts on this one here, Matt?
Yeah, so real quick, I had a couple things I wanted to touch on, starting with that Warriors game last night. This has been a trend the past couple of weeks, and when a team goes down double digits, especially a team like the Warriors at home, take that money line play. I took that money line play last night, ended up paying off, and we have seen some huge comebacks, especially against this Clippers team. This Clippers team just absolutely falls apart. And if I'm going to pinpoint anything, it's kind of tough because you cannot blame Russell Westbrook. I know a lot of people want to blame Russell Westbrook. He's the easy player to blame typically. But, some of this I blame on Tyronn Lue. I think he needs to find that consistent end-of-game lineup. He keeps switching it up. For some odd reason, oftentimes he's closing with Eric Gordon. He's not giving Norman Powell some minutes. The one game Russell Westbrook had 17 points at the end of the third quarter, doesn't get any fourth quarter run. They end up losing in overtime. To me, a lot of the coaches throughout this league go with the hot hand, and I'm not seeing that with Tyronn Lue. Tyronn Lue, I think, is a little confused as a coach, what to do with this lineup, things of that nature. But in addition to that, yes, when you add a lot of players to a team, it does take some time. We've seen guys like Bones Highland add to that team. We saw guys like Russell Westbrook. You see what's going on in Dallas with Luka and Kyrie. And, although they seemed to get it going last night, defensively, it wasn't exactly there either. But in this matchup, I'm not going to lie. This is a game I am not touching. I see things from both sides here. And, this is a spot, too, where this is a Clippers team absolutely falling off a cliff. They've lost 4 games in a row, and in every single one of those 4 games, I don't think it could have been uglier. They're absolutely blowing it, whether it's from a coach's perspective, whether it's from a team's perspective. Again, you guys already heard what I think about Tyronn Lue and his coaching ability at this point in time. I might be saying he's a little overrated here. I don't know. But I think this is a must-win situation for the Clippers here, with Kawhi, without Kawhi. So if I were to go anywhere here, it would actually be with the Clippers plus 5.5. Let me repeat myself, though. I will not have this as an official play. I will not. There's absolutely no chance. I'm staying away from this game. I want nothing to do with it. But if I were to go anywhere, I like to go with the more desperate team. The Clippers, I believe, are the more desperate team here. The Kings aren't that great at home on the season. They're 15-14-1 at home this season, while the Clippers are 18-16 on the road. And I actually believe this Clippers team matches up well against the Kings, in terms of defensive ability, in terms of being able to go off on offense. Obviously, anytime you don't have Kawhi, that definitely hurts. But me and you, how many times me and you talked about the injury replacement theory on this show? So maybe someone, maybe Norman Powell. Yeah, this could be the Norman Powell game. Norman Powell slides in. If he gets 30 minutes, he's definitely a very good look. He hasn't had 25 points in a minute. That might be around plus 250, plus 300. So I think that could be a pretty viable option, especially when you're going up against a Kings team who is one of the worst defensively throughout the NBA and runs one of the highest paces throughout the NBA. Another person, I know this is a little sketchy, but it's Paul George. Paul George is going to gain a lot of usage here. He's going to gain a lot of opportunity for assists, rebounds, a little bit of everything. And then, the only reason I don't say Russell Westbrook is, once again, going back to Tyronn Lue. I do not trust the minutes that some of these other guys get other than Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, because Tyronn Lue is just all over the place. He might run Russell Westbrook. He might run Eric Gordon. He might run Norman Powell, Marcus Morris. I mean, I don't know. He's just all over the place. So for me, if I were to look anywhere, it would be with Russell Westbrook or Paul George here. But if I had to choose a side, it would be with the Clippers plus 5.5.
Yeah, this one is tough, man. Like, you got some good points there. One thing that I do want to note too as well, I don't think I'm gonna touch this on a side perspective, because only the biggest thing for me not taking the Clippers here is because they're not doing well without Kawhi in the lineup. They're 10-17 straight up, 10-17 against the spread, 17-10 to the under as well. They average 107.3 points per game, allowing 113.1 per game without Kawhi in the lineup. If you add that the total is greater than 225, so these higher totals, they're 1-6 against the spread, 7-0 to the under. But like you said, the Kings at home, they aren't that great, especially as home favorites. 10-12 against the spread as home favorites. The other thing to mention too, they just played each other last week, right? They were 6-point dogs. The Kings were 6-point dogs. Now they're 6-point favorites. That's a 12-point swing here, going from road to home, and also with Kawhi out. But 12 points is a lot of points to switch over, and that really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. One thing that I do want to go back to, Westbrook hurt me yesterday because he only got 6 assists, but if he plays today, I would go back to him and his assists. Even though he only played 27 minutes last night, only had 6 assists. He got those 6 assists in the first half. That he still had 14 potential assists in that game yesterday, and I 100% agree with you on Tyronn Lue. It was I want to, as easy as it is, like you said, to blame Russell. I think this is on Tyronn Lue. That's exactly what I mentioned in one of my group chats yesterday. I was like, "Yo, I missed the Westbrook assist. I missed the Kawhi threes. That I don't want to blame Westbrook for this one. I want to blame Tyronn Lue. The lineups he had out there. You got Eric Gordon playing the most minutes out of all your guys. He shot 10 threes. Like being the guy that. How is it Aaron Gordon? You got Kawhi. You got PG. How does he have the most shot attempts on your whole squad? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird to me. I think it is Tyronn Lue. I don't think it's the players for this team. I think that the Clippers do have a lot of depth, and I think they have the skills. They have the ability to get far into the playoffs, but I just don't think they could do it with Coach Lue. That's my issue too. But yeah, like I said, dude, I would go back to the well with Westbrook assists here. He's getting a lot of opportunities. I think with Kawhi out, the ball's gonna be in his hands a little bit more. And then thinking about what everyone's been saying on Twitter as well, like you saw that clip yesterday with Draymond nowhere near him when Westbrook was at the 3-point line and just begging him to shoot the ball, and he still didn't do it. He's gonna come back with some vengeance here tonight. I feel like he's gonna attack the rim. He's gonna be able to slash, and that's gonna be able to give him opportunity to kick back out to some guys who could shoot the three ball here. So his assist would be the way that I go. Anything else to add on to that one before we move on to the best bet section, Matt? Oh, yeah, you're muted, Matt. I think you're muted.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, all I was gonna say is, yeah, I totally agree with you on Tyronn Lue, and that guy owes me about $4,000. You know, Nikola Jokic, I had Nikola Jokic triple double. I had Michael Porter Jr. 25 points, and I had Russell Westbrook 20 points 3 nights ago. The dude has 17 in the third quarter, and Tyronn Lue benches in the game. So if you're seeing this, send me a check, son.
Matt, oh my God, I love it. All right, well, yeah,
God.
let's get that money back, Matt. Let's get that money back. All right, let's move on to the best bet section, and talk about what you got. Also, what you got going on the premium side for this weekend?
Yeah, so premium side right now, again, I'm locked and loaded with the NBA. I got all my plays loaded last night. I am going to combine them into a package for everyone. I have 4 plays loaded. I ran the 10-day challenge. I tried day 1. We ended up losing on day 1, sadly. Scotty Barnes hitting 4 rebounds at an 87% rate. Ended up getting 3, but might try that again tonight. So I'm trying to get my free plays going a little bit more for everyone. So you can head over to the page, check that out if you would like. Also have 2 plays loaded for the UFC. I have a main event play and a prelim play on top of that. And again, guys, this is 5 straight plus unit days. Just looking to keep this rolling. I love the slate tonight. I think this is a great NBA slate. A lot of potential here. A lot of high totals and spreads on top of that. And the player that we're going to be going with tonight is going to be Trae Young, okay? Tonight with Trae Young, we are going to be going with his points plus assists. And Trae Young is facing the Portland Trailblazers tonight. And this is actually one of Trae Young's favorite spots or favorite teams to face on the year. You know, this is a Portland team who is 27th in overall defense, giving up 115.3 points per game over their last 3, and is also 4th worst throughout the NBA in assists given up to point guards per game. Again, I mentioned how Trae Young absolutely loves playing the Clippers. He averages 33 points, 11 assists, and 5.3 rebounds over his entire career against the Portland Trailblazers. I think I said Clippers before, but against the Portland Trailblazers. I think this is a very tough spot for the Blazers. On top of that, if you've watched this Portland Trailblazers team, you know how easy it is to beat them off the dribble and to drive to the paint. I think that high pick and roll with Clint Capella is going to be very dangerous tonight. I could see Trae Young getting 12 plus assists because of this. You know, anytime you have Drew Eubanks coming out to meet that pick and roll at the top of the three-point line, it's going to be trouble. Trae Young has missed double-digit assists in 3 straight games, doesn't do that very often, so I think he's definitely going to get that double-double and go over here. And on top of that, his last 2 games against the Portland Trailblazers, 46 points and 12 rebounds, 56 points and 46 points and 12 assists, 56 points and 14 assists. So the dude is absolutely going off. He's taking a ton of shots. He's getting a ton of assists. And once again, going back to this Portland Trailblazers team, they just have no height. Without Drew Eubanks, they literally have nothing. They don't even have a backup center at this point in time. They don't have a true 4. Jeremy Grant is not a true 4. He's not going to be able to handle someone like Clint Capella or anything like that. And then 2, if they end up playing that drop defense with Drew Eubanks starts dropping to the basket because they're getting beat by alley-oops or anything like that, that's when Trae Young's floater comes into play. So again, I think this is a really, really good spot for Trae Young. This is a Portland Trailblazers team that just doesn't play much defense. Damian Lillard, especially at this point in time, has to focus entirely on the offensive end. He can't get in foul trouble. He can't come up and press you because he can't risk going to the bench because he gets too many ticky-tack fouls. So for me, it's a Trae Young spot. I love his over points and rebound or points and assists tonight. I'm sorry.
I like that play a lot. It's gonna be a high paced game as well, so a lot of opportunities there for scoring and assists. My best bet today, I'm going to Walker Kessler. Over 11 and a half rebounds. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities in a game where I see a lot of bricks today. Also, a fast-paced game as well. So, obviously, one of the big things that I've seen about him is he gets a lot of opportunities. He's gone over this number in 5 of his last 6 games. The one that went under, he only played 19 minutes. He got in some foul trouble in that game, but in the last 7 games during that span, he's averaging 22.1 rebound chances per game. And the last time he played the Thunder, he actually played 37 minutes. He grabbed 18 rebounds. He also had 7 blocks. So if you like blocks, those defensive props too, that might be a way to look, because the Thunder are one of the biggest teams as far as trying to get into the paint and score in the paint. And Kessler is a force in the paint there. So for me, my best bet is over 11 and a half rebounds for Walker Kessler there. I think if you guys like to ladder stuff, I think there's an opportunity for him to get up to like 15 rebounds. In my opinion, there's going to be a lot of chances here for him. From a premium side perspective, I already got my UFC packages. Like Matt, I'm really excited for this weekend's card. Huge card. I have 5 plays up on the site right now, all available on one single package. So that's there. As far as the NBA, I'm excited for today's slate. I think, obviously, I mentioned earlier in the show that I've been on a down streak so far this week. But today is probably one of the best slates that I've seen so far as being comfortable and very confident in some of the plays. So I think we're going to have a good day. I think we're going to have a good weekend as well. College basketball is up is going to be up for tomorrow as well. So look, I know we have the NBA package, the 7-day NBA pass, the Hoop 7 package for myself and Moneyline Matt. But I urge you guys to look towards the all access packages as well, because like me and Matt said, we touch on a lot of stuff, not only just the NBA here. The other thing too, that college basketball bonanza, a lot of great college basketball cappers over at sportsmemo.com, and that's available without a promo code. You can just go to any of your favorite college basketball cappers, and that would be on their page. With that said, Matt, man, this weekend I think it's going to be a good weekend. I want to come back and talk about a recap of plus money and plus units when we come back on the show here. All right. So with that said, man, our next show is on Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on this same channel. Till then, good luck with all your action. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
How do you like to finish the college basketball season paying under $30 per week? Between now and Selection Sunday on March 12th, there are still tons of regular season college basketball action to go. Plus, all of the conference tournaments and Wager Talk and Sports Memo are announcing their March Madness Bonanza special that will include the rest of the college basketball regular season, conference tournaments, NCAA tournament through the national championship, and any plays released in the NIT or CBI tournaments. That's right, from Monday, February 27th through Monday, April 3rd, there are 5 full weeks of hoops action, which breaks down to under $30 per week. Sign up for this promotion now on your favorite handicapper's homepage and get the rest of the college basketball season through the national championship in Houston on Monday, April 3rd, plus all non-March Madness tourneys, including the NIT and CBI, all for only $149. That's under $5 a day for one of the best betting experiences in sports. Some call March Madness the most exciting time in sports betting, so act fast as the March Madness Bonanza special is only available for a limited time. Grab your favorite college basketball handicapper, or perhaps add 2 or 3 college hoops experts to make this March Madness not only exciting, but also profitable. No coupon is needed. Just head to the homepage of the handicapper of choice and lock the $149 price in now. As the earlier you sign up, the more days you receive.